All right, good morning, everybody. Pardon me while I'm adjusting the drapes. I should have done this before I turned everything on. Thank you so much for your patience. All right, everybody. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do some cold calling. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to do cold calling. We're going to do calling some expired listings. We're going to do what we can to find some properties that I can invest in, find some people that we can help. Now, if you've been following along in the series that we've been doing, you'll notice that I've been trying to improve this as we go along. I've been trying to get you some news that's helpful, get you some things that are going to be helpful in your business. I'm trying to keep the dialogues very short with people so we don't sit there forever on a dumb conversation. I'm trying to keep this just as helpful as possible for your business. In that you'll learn a tip or a trick or a technique, hopefully, that you can share with somebody in your business. So let's go ahead and get cracking. Now I'm going to show you, right? You can see I have it on Do Not Disturb. It is 9:23. I have started way too late. I should have started calling these people at 8 a.m., right? I'm a big believer. We're going to start calling expired listings first, right? Big believer that you should start calling these people as quickly as possible because everybody else is. Now, I recognize that it is difficult, especially if you just go ahead and get rid of that. There we go. Boom. It's difficult, especially if you don't have a auto dialer. So I would definitely recommend that you get one. It's certainly a good investment in your business. Let's go ahead and get cracking on this. So what I'm going to do, right?
Welcome to Storm.
Right. So, okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and get started right here. We've got 40-something expireds to call. Not too many because we're going to burn through those numbers very quickly. So I'm trying to find a way to limit the dialing noise in the background for you, but I'm still working on that, if you'll forgive me. So let's just go ahead and begin as we always do. If you're a praying person, which I hope you are, then please join with me. Lord, thank you so much for this day. We are very grateful for it. Boy, we just are so grateful all the good things that you've given us, our health, our life, and our freedom, our chance to go ahead and join people in this business. God, I'd ask that you help the people who are watching this podcast and this video to learn something that would be helpful to them, encourage them. I'd ask that you give them something that they can take home and help the families that are in their communities. I ask that you bless the people that are about to be called, Lord. They're very scared, and I'd ask that you'd help us to help them to see clearly, that we might be able to give them our message clearly. Thank you so much. In Jesus' name we pray, and for his glory we do this. Amen. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get cracking. Let's get started. As always, if you have questions, definitely recommend you go ahead and put them in the comment box. I will do what I can to join that, right? Now, believe it or not, I am trying to find a way here to where it's just like a tone that lets me know that somebody's picked up. It'd be a lot easier than having this noise in the background. So I'm still trying to figure that part out here. Let's see here, ringtone, turn that off. Maybe that's it. There we go. That's what we want. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, that should get rid of it after this one, right? Let's see what happens. Okay, cool. So now what should happen is it should now just bling, right? When somebody picks up. So essentially what's going, hey, this is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
This is Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm not sure if I've got the right person. I apologize. Are you the fellow who happens to own that property on Quiet Valley?
Yeah, I'm not looking for a new realtor. Thank you.
Oh, I don't blame you. That's not why I'm calling, though. Actually, I was calling to see if you still wanted to sell it. Do you? What's that, brother?
I can't hear you. Right?
Oh, I apologize. I said, did you still want to sell it? I understand you don't want an agent. I get it. Believe me, I get it. I was actually just calling to see if you still wanted
Yeah,
to sell it.
I'm still gonna sell it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still selling it.
All right, cool.
I don't want a new realtor right now.
No, I don't blame you. All right, no worries. So is it for sale by owner then?
Yeah, for right at this time. Yeah.
Okay, great. No problem. And may I ask how much you're asking for it? And by the way, my name was Karl. If you didn't catch it, I apologize.
Yeah, 490.
Okay, right on. So as I understand it, it was listed at 479.9 with an agent, but
Yep.
now for sale by owner, you're selling it at
479.9 to 500. Yeah.
okay, and so now you're selling it at 490. Okay, I got you. All right, right on. It was on a range kind of thing. Is that what they did?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. All right. No worries. Well, listen, I'm a broker here in town over here at Sotheby's International Realty. If I brought somebody by who'd be, I don't know, paying a price that you could live with, would you be willing to pay some form of commission on that?
To the seller agent? Yeah.
No, to me, yeah. I mean, if
Seller
it's not listed, it's by owner, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And if I brought somebody by who'd pay your 490 or whatever price you guys could agree to, would you be willing to pay any form of commission on that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. When would be a good time for me to stop by and take a quick peek at the place? It's that's convenient for you.
I think tonight, or you can swing by tonight. I'm not gonna be home.
I can swing. Yeah, I can swing by tonight. Let me just take a quick look at my schedule. This is the 20th. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's Monday. Yeah, I can be out there around. Would 4 be good or would 5 be better? Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
Would 4 be good or would 5 be better? Or do you need me to do something later?
5.
5? Okay. All right, great. Well, then I'll just swing by at 5 and I'll take a quick look. No worries. Okay. All right, awesome. Well, thanks for taking my time. Thanks for taking the call, Kev.
Yep.
Oh, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Oh, there we go. That was easy. Okay. Now, here's the thing, right? Something to take away. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write this down real quick. Let me just go ahead. Sounds like old Kev was taking a walk there or something. One of the things that I think that you probably want to be aware of, okay? You don't want to get too caught up in the weeds with a person. When you think about it, we're calling an expired listing, okay? They just came off the market. He says, I don't want a listing agent. I don't want to list. Okay, great. No problem. I mean, that's what most people say, right? And I'm okay with that because when you think about it, as we mentioned in a previous video, most agents tend to come after expired listings as though they are a single woman in a bar. They just, jump right on them and, hey, I want to relist and let's do this. And people are reluctant to do that, right? So what you do in this particular circumstance, you just set an appointment. Oh yeah, no problem. Well, you just make sure that they're still for sale, right? If you're still for sale, I understand you don't want to sell it by owner, get it, or with an agent, I get that, but I'm just curious, are you still willing to sell? Yes. Okay, great. Then if I brought somebody by, would you pay a commission? Yes. So what they're really telling you is they see a value in what you're doing. They just don't see a value in paying a listing agent. They don't see the paying the other 3% or whatever percent you charge, right? So in this case, what you got to do is meet them quickly, right? You want to get out there very fast, introduce yourself. That way you're not, a bad person, a bad guy or whatever, because as I already know, a lot of these people are going to relist within the next few days. So, all right, so let's see. Good deal. Good job. All right. So let's keep trucking. That was a nice early appointment. Now remember, that's not a listing appointment just yet, but it's something, right? By the way, if you find this helpful, do me a favor. Please share it on your social media. As it is right now, I'm sitting here trying to focus.
Forwarded to an automatic
it looks like I'm looking at you,
3-1.
But the reality is I'm looking at the screen of actually the people that are going through this and making sure that I'm not missing out on anybody. So I'm not really able to share this on my social media. So if you wouldn't mind, if you're finding that this is of any value, Even if you're in your car listening to this after everything's gone on, then feel free to go ahead and share this on your social media. Let people know what's going on. So let's go ahead and get jumping into today's news. It sounds like our new system of ding, ding, ding is working. So I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to have to remember that people may or may not be able to hear me all that well, at least on the phone. You can certainly hear me, but they can't. So what we're going to do while we're waiting for this to call, just to keep in mind, we've got, let's see, we've already called 4 leads so far. We've made 8 calls. We've talked to 1 person and set an appointment. And we've set, we've left 2 voicemails. So not too bad for 8 minutes, 9 minutes worth of activity. Let's go ahead and get cracking here on today's news. Thank you so much for being here to join me on this prospecting session. If you're just joining us, please understand that while I'm talking to you, reading the news and commentary, I've got an auto dialer running in the background. And as soon as you hear a bing, then you're going to hear me jump into my scripts and me jumping into trying to set an appointment. If you just joined us, you will definitely want to rewind to about minute probably 4, 3, 4, something around there. And you'll hear me set an appointment with a fellow who was not looking to list. And that's going to work out real good.
You've reached emergency roadside service.
That's not
I'm
what I
either
want.
on the phone or away from my desk.
Boom. Delete
Please
that one.
leave a detailed message.
Okay, cool. Resume. Boom. All right, so here we go. Guys, so according to the World Property Journal, I'm not sure if you guys follow this news at all, but the World Property Journal is a very popular blog for people who are in the real estate game. If you're trying to figure out what the real estate market is doing, a lot of people tend to go ahead and look at this blog. And one of the blog articles said, look, after 7 years of gains, U.S. home values fall in April. Wow. This is the first time in 7 years of gains, that home values have actually begun to fall across the United States. So what really does this mean? Now, if according to Zillow's April 2019 real estate market report, Zillow, U.S. home values fell from March to April. The first thing I'd like to bring to your attention, if you're a realtor, does that just not infuriate you? It infuriates me, right? I'm a realtor. I'm a good, long-standing, long-believing believer in realtor and the Realtor Code of Ethics and our association. I have nothing but a lot of respect for my fellow realtors, but it infuriates me every single time I see a person like Zillow or a company like Zillow putting out a real estate market report showing, U.S. home values have fallen. Why are we allowing Zillow, God bless them, God bless the American capitalistic society that allows companies to build and thrive and make deals with realtor organizations where they can get access to the data for practically nothing. God bless our system that we can do that, right? But it really...
Hi, this is Bill.
It really infuriates me that, people will take... This is stuff we should do. I don't know. I'm just picky about it, right? So anyway, in this Zillow report, it just simply says that the typical U.S. home is worth $226,800, down 0.1% from last month. 0.1%. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, this is Karl. How are you today?
Who?
Oh, I'm so sorry. My name's Karl Krentzel. I might actually have the wrong number. I apologize. I'm actually looking for the Edisons. They own some property over there on Silverbell. Is that your property, ma'am?
It is my property, and it's not for sale, and I'd like you to take us off your call list.
Well, actually, I'd be happy to. I'm glad to see I actually have the right person. I didn't even know I had the right person. Well, since I've got you anyway, I don't want your listing. I was actually calling to see if you were interested in selling it. Do you happen to know of anybody else in that area who's got an unwanted property that they'd like to sell? Especially, kind of on the down low in the next 30 days?
Nope, I don't.
Okay, no worries. Well, listen, I appreciate you and God bless you, okay?
Thank you.
You have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. It doesn't have to be mean. Doesn't have to be anything bad. I mean, you could sit here, do this, and talk to people and make it a good day, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be bad. Right? People make it bad, right? I don't know. You tell me. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a quick look here back at the news. So it said that on an annual basis, home values grew 6.1%, but the pace year-over-year appreciation is slowed in each of the past 4 months. Okay, so when you think about it, our speed of growth in the United States has really caused our home values to go up and up and up, and 6%. And a lot of that is because the appreciation, obviously, people are being able to afford more homes. Hello? People are able to afford more homes, right? When they buy them, obviously, if there's fewer homes available, then that's going to drive the home prices up of the homes that are available. As more companies have more money and they start to build and they start to grow, they hire more people, they get more people into their companies. For example, here in Tucson, they built a huge Amazon warehouse south of town, and it's going to be employing hundreds and hundreds of people, thousands, people, and that brings people to our area. That raises our values, and that's what's starting to cause, you see, home values growing 6% over. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hi. This is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. What can I do for you?
Yes, ma'am. I apologize in advance. I might have the wrong number. I was actually looking for the owners of a property on Speedway. Would that be your property, ma'am?
No, it is not, dear.
Oh, goodness. I apologize in advance. Since I got you here anyway, do you happen to know anybody who's got an unwanted property that I could buy for cash?
No, I don't at this time,
Oh,
my dear.
no worries. It's kind of an odd question. All right. Well, you have a wonderful day, okay?
No, it's okay. I understand. You too, honey. Take care.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye,
Uh-huh.
darling. God bless.
All right. So, all right. So anyway, now they're saying, look, the pace of this year-over-year appreciation has actually started to slow. Things have been rocketing along. Everybody's been buying up properties, realtors left and right. You've probably been seeing it in your schools. The real estate school's been packing up full of people. Okay. Everybody's been wanting to get into the real estate business because it's been super easy. But then what you see here is the pace of the year-over-year appreciation has started to slow in each of the past 4 months. Now, that's the key, right? You might not think that really a 0.1% in a month is that big of a deal. But when you think about it, in 4 months' time, if all of your sales are starting to slow down and the appreciation is starting to slow down, and then the first month it kind of starts to tip over a little bit, right? Falling from 8.1% annual, right? Home values fell 32 of the 35 largest housing markets over April and remained flat in 2 others. So when they surveyed 35 of the largest housing markets across the United States, in 32 of them, right? 32 of them, all right, the home values went down. And in 2 of them, they remained flat, which means in only 1 of the 35 metropolitan areas that they had checked, only 1 had gone up. Said home values have fallen in each of the previous months in San Jose, San Francisco, San Diego, and Los Angeles. Well, what does that all have in common? San Jose, San Francisco, San Diego, and Los Angeles. Well, I mean, if you're an agent in those areas, I'd love to get your perspective on how this all works. I mean, how is it that your values can continue to rise and go up and go up and go up, and you have no rent controls? You've got no kind of, what do you do? How do you control that? Because eventually it gets to a critical mass point where people cannot afford it. I'm looking here, it says the home values, it says, have likely peaked Listen up. If you're in the following areas, you might want to check this out. It says home values. Now, I'm not sure if you're an investor or a realtor, but if you're an investor or a realtor, check this out. Home values, it says, have likely peaked in Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Houston, Miami, Boston, San Francisco, Seattle, San Diego.
Hello?
Hey, this is Karl Krentzel. How are you today? Hey. Hello? Sorry about that. My name's Karl Krentzel. I sounds like I might actually have the wrong number. I apologize. I was actually looking for the owners of a property out there on Tanque Verde. Is that your property?
No, I'm sorry. You have the wrong
Oh
number.
gosh, I'm so sorry, brother. Hey, listen, since I got you anyway, do you know anybody who's got an unwanted home that I could buy for cash?
I don't.
Okay, no worries, man. I appreciate your time and you have a great day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. So where were we? Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Houston, Miami, Boston, San Francisco, Seattle, San Diego, St. Louis, Tampa, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Portland, and San Jose. If you're in any of those marketplaces right now, Zillow says that you have likely peaked in your value. So what does this mean to you? How do you use this as an investor? How do you use this as a realtor? How do you help tell your clients? Because think this through. Okay, if you are trying to be a good provider of value to your customers, okay, then undoubtedly you are going to take the steps it takes to go ahead and to identify what the potential threats to your market is. And you're going to let your citizens know of the potential problem. At least I would think so. I mean, if you're going to really say in your heart that you're here to help your community, that you're here to help and serve your community as a realtor or as an investor, then it seems to me that you should be able to tell people of impending doom. Here is something they need to know. They tell you, well,
Hello. No
Well,
one is available to
my
take your
home
call.
isn't worth that. My home, Zillow says blah, blah, blah. You always talk about how Zillow gives you problems. Well, why don't you use Zillow to your benefit? Why not? If you're in Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Houston, Miami, Boston, San Francisco, Seattle, San Diego, St. Louis, Tampa, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Portland, San Jose, if you're in any of those neighborhoods, those cities, if I was an investor in your city, if I was a realtor in your city who was investing, I would be calling everyone I knew. I would be on Facebook Live. I'd be making YouTube videos.
Hello?
Hey, this is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
Good. May I ask who's calling?
Yeah, no problem. It sounds like I might have the wrong number. My name is Karl Krentzel. I was actually looking for the owner of a home on Fifth. Is that your property, sir?
No, it's not.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Hey, listen, since I've got you anyway, do you know anybody who's got an unwanted home that I could buy for cash? Take that as a no. All right, boom. So when you think about it, if I was in those areas, if I was in a realtor or broker and investor in that area, I'd be calling everybody. Facebook Live. If I had a blog in there, I'd make a blog post, right? And I would tell everybody, I would link to this yellow, and I'll even tell you what it's called again so you can rewind it, right? It's the April 2019.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Ray.
Yeah, hi, Ray. This is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
I'm doing excellent.
Yeah.
I can barely hear you.
Oh, I apologize. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had my mouth a little too far away from the thing. Sorry about that. My name's Karl again. I'm not 100% sure I have the right person. Are you the fellow who happens to own that property on Step Rock?
Yes.
Wonderful. I was calling. I noticed you had it on the market about a year ago, or maybe two. I was actually just calling to see if you still wanted to sell it. I'm a broker here in town. Do you?
Yeah, no, I have it leased out.
Oh, you
It
do?
won't be available until next year. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I figured I would give you a call because sometimes people lease their property out, and I figured I'd give you a call because I think it was like a year ago or something you had it on the market, right?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. All right, no problem. Well, listen, Ray, since I got you anyway, I appreciate you being a good sport. Do you know anybody else who's got an unwanted property that I could buy for cash, in the next 30 days or so?
Not really.
Okay, cool. No problem. Well, listen, I appreciate you taking the time out. Yes, sir?
Okay.
All right, you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, boom. So let me do this real quick here. Delete that one, and then, oh, crap. Let's see here. Go back real quick. Oh, okay, I have to do that later. All right. Well, anyway, yeah. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So I got the 2019 April 2019 real estate market report from Zillow, right? I would take this, I would link it to my blog, I would link it to my Facebook, I would print it out, whatever it took, and I would tell people in my marketplace, hey, look, if you've got a property that that you're looking to sell, and you think the market's going to get better next year, guess what? Zillow, the people you say are the gods of real estate, with their sold data, said that the market is going to likely peak this year. What are you going to do?
Hello?
Hey,
This is Nick. How can I help you?
No worries, Mick. I say the same thing all the time. My name's Karl. I'm not sure if I've got the right guy. I'm a broker here in town. Are you the owner of that property over there on First?
Nope.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Now is it First and Euclid?
Well, yeah, 6820. It was on the market about a year ago for 515.
Nope, that's not me.
No worries.
No.
Well, listen, sorry for the wrong number. Since I got you anyway, do you know anybody else who's got an unwanted property that I could buy for cash?
Possibly. There's I don't know the address, but it's across the street from Tucson High. So it's near like Euclid and 6.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the address.
Do you know the people, or what's the situation?
I don't know. No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, no worries.
My uncle used to live there, but he just passed away.
Oh gosh.
That's the only reason I know that it's up for sale.
Oh my gosh. Have they got it up for sale by owner, or is it the family that's selling it, or?
It's the family partnership that's selling it.
Huh. Okay. Well, how would I go about getting in touch with them? Do you have any ideas or suggestions on that?
I would say just drive by and look at whatever numbers on the property there.
Okay.
So I believe it's on the corner of First and 6th.
Okay.
First Avenue and 6th Street.
Okay. Well, then I will go ahead and take a drive by and see what I can find. You said there's a little duplex over there, yeah?
Yep, duplex right next to the university.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll check it out. All right. Awesome. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, brother. I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay.
All right. You too.
God bless you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, you never know what you'll find. Maybe it'll be something down by the university, a duplex. Who knows, right? So anyway, getting back to this Zillow thing, right? Tell them, hey, look, the people you trust, the people you talk to, the real estate gods, whatever, they're saying that the market is peaking, and if you need to sell your property, this is the time. It is high time, right? It is high time to sell your property. You got to say it with some conviction, right? It says rent prices have continued to accelerate, growing for the 6th consecutive month. The median U.S. rent has rose 2.6% on an annual basis to $1,477. Rents grew the fastest in Las Vegas, up 7.8%, Phoenix up 6.7%, and Orlando 6.4%. What is that?
Hello.
Hello, this is Karl. How are you today?
Who is this?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Karl. Karl Krentzel. How are you?
Fine. What can I do for you?
I think I've got the wrong number. No worries. Have a great day. Take care.
Bye-bye.
actually, I know that person and I don't want to do business with them. I know who she is and I've done business with her before, and she's nice, but she's just not something I want to get into. It's just too much work for. Anyway, the point is, let's get back into this, right? What does it mean when rent prices continue to accelerate? If the rents are going up, all right, prices starting to go down, what does it really mean? Despite the drop nationally, it says for sale inventory has grown significantly in expensive West Coast markets, San Jose, Seattle, San Francisco. This is due to cooling demand rather than a flood of new listings. Well, there you have it. That's why. It's because people who are trying to sell their properties, okay, it's not like there's just a whole bunch of people coming on the market saying, gosh, we're going to put the home on the market right now so we can generate the most money because peaking values or. Hi, this is Karl. How are you?
Please leave your message.
They're having trouble. They're having trouble selling the inventory they have. It's because sellers in that market right now, those markets, have this mindset that it is 2018 when it is 2019. Hello? Bueno, ¿habla inglés?
One moment. Hello?
Hi, this is Karl. Is this Rodolfo? Yeah, no problem. No problem. My name is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
Fine. But I want to know to whom are you trying to talk with?
Yeah, no problem. Rodolfo Rosette, do you own that property on Kilmer?
Rodolfo. No. Rodolfo is my
cousin,
brother-in-law.
Okay.
But he doesn't live over here at this site.
Okay.
So you need to look for. I don't have his
no problem. No problem.
Okay.
All right. Have a great day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. So, it's because they're unable to sell what they have, right? So when you're in a marketplace, and it doesn't matter if it's these places or where you are today, if you're in a marketplace where you start to see that the the home absorption rate, the amount of time it's taking for properties to actually sell is taking a lot longer, well, then if the rents are going up, well, then they're able to charge more. They wouldn't be able to charge more, right, if there was less rentals. If there wasn't such a high demand,
You have reached the voicemail box
then they wouldn't be able to charge that. They're able to charge that because there's a lot of people who are looking to get into rentals. Why are there a lot of people getting into rentals? Because they can't afford the homes that people are trying to sell. People are trying to sell the homes with 2018 pricing in their head. And the people who are able to buy today, they look at that and they say, well, gosh, I don't want to do that. I remember what happened in X years ago, and I don't want to be that guy. And that's why you have so many homes staying on the market. And that's why Zillow's putting out a report. And that's why you're seeing the first national home price decline since 2012. Boy, guys, I hope this is valuable to you. Hi, this is Karl. How are you?
Hi, good morning. How can I help you?
Yeah, I think I have the wrong number. This I was looking for the property on Camino Real. This is a business?
No, this is Family Foundation.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm so sorry. Well, you have a great day. Okay.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right, there we go. All right, so let's move on to the next one. This one goes hand in hand with the. Hello.
Thank you for Dragonfly Village. If you have questions about sit-ins,
that's not it either. There we go. This one goes right hand in hand with the last article, right? This one is Las Vegas home prices. Hello?
please leave your message for 5202578.
Las Vegas home prices remain. Hello?
The number 4.
I'm going to leave a whole bunch of messages with these people today. Jeez Louise. Las Vegas home prices remain flat in April. All right. If you're from Las Vegas, This goes hand in hand from the last article I just told you about that Zillow said about the prices starting to dip a little bit, even if it was just by 0.1%. The first.
Hello.
Hey, this is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Boy, I'll tell you, I am better than I deserve. Listen, I'm not sure if I've got the right guy. I apologize in advance. My name's Karl Krentzel. I'm looking for the owner of a property on Casablanca. Would that be you?
It could be. It depends on what property you're looking at.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Well, again, my name's Karl Krentzel. I'm a broker over here at Sotheby's International Realty. I'm calling about your property you had on the market a year ago at 7356. Did you end up selling that place?
It's no longer on the market.
I noticed. I was actually calling to see if you still wanted to sell it. Do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I can't blame you at all. That's a beautiful area, and the market value prices are going up, up, up. I certainly understand. I'm curious, at what price would you become a seller?
1.2 million.
Well, I can certainly appreciate that. 3 times the value. I would be a for sale seller for sure. Well, listen, do you happen to know of anybody else who's got an unwanted property that I could buy for cash?
Not that I know of, no.
All right, cool. Well, listen, Ray, I appreciate your time. I hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy this wonderful weather we're having today.
All right, you too.
All right, brother. Take care. Bye-bye. So check this out, guys. You'll see that it's dialing in, but you saw me put the do not disturb on there. I don't know how they get through, but they do. All right, so here we go. Las Vegas home prices remain flat in April. The median home price remains at $300,000. The Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors is reporting this week that local home prices are hovering around $300,000, while the number of homes on the market continues to increase. Well, first of all, praise God. Praise God to the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors doing their job in promoting this information out to the public. Thank God for them, because we need people out there in the realtor community sharing this knowledge. Listen, I've been in this business 23 years, and I am not an old man. Don't get me wrong, okay? I am 49. I'm very young, and I'm very young in the business. But I bring it to your attention because I'm old enough to remember what the signs have looked like in the multiple times that I have seen this business collapse in and upon itself. I mean, when I first began in 1996 in Charleston, South Carolina. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hello. This is Karl. How are you today?
Who's Karl?
Oh, I'm so sorry. My name's Karl Krentzel. I'm not sure if I've got the right place. I was looking for the Amarines. They own some property on Drawdown. Is that your property, ma'am?
Yes, that's us.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful. Well, listen, again, my name is Karl Krentzel. I'm a broker here in town at Sotheby's International Realty. I know you had your home on the market about a year ago. I was actually just calling to see if you still wanted to sell it or if you'd considered selling it recently. Have you?
It's listed with with what is it, Keller Williams, something like that.
Great, perfect, wonderful. Well, then I will do what I can to go ahead and find a buyer for you. I didn't recognize that. I thought I scrubbed my list pretty good. So good deal. May I ask how much you're asking for the home now?
I'm not even sure. Ted's taken some discounts on it.
No worries.
But, Matt Doré is the realtor.
Well, I'm sure he's a great agent. Well, I will do what I can to help Matt get that property sold for you right away, okay?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right. Well,
so
God
much.
bless you. Yes, ma'am. You take care.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Oh, so it says that the median price of local condos and townhomes sold in April also increased compared to the previous year. The April median price of $170,000 was up 2% from March and up 9% from $155,000 in April of 2018. So, you've got a condo market that is, going pretty well. It's not gangbusters by any means, but 2% is certainly respectable. It's not a negative incline. It's not as fast as it was in the past, but even it's going up. But now you're starting to see that these home prices are starting to really slow.
Hello, this is Brent.
Hey, this is Karl. How are you? Brent? See, yeah, I sound too much like a radio guy. All right, let me try that again. Boom. So anyway, when you think about it, that the housing market, okay, the housing market going up in Las Vegas, they're saying this is the first time in 7 years that they've reported an annual home price this increased this low. I mean, every year for the last 7 years, they've had a just boom, 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 money coming in, properties, selling, not a slowdown, prices going up. For 7 years, it's been this way. And I'm not saying this. This is the GLVAR president, Janet Carpenter. I didn't say it. The Association of Realtors president said it. She said, this shows how the local housing market is stabilizing this.
Assisted living, can I help you?
Oh, you know what? I think I've got the wrong number. Actually, I was trying to get a hold of Jackie. Is Jackie in there?
No, she's not.
Gosh, okay, yeah, I got the right place. I didn't catch her. No worries. Well, perhaps you can help me very quickly. I know that property was recently for sale, but as I understood it, it had a contract on it. I thought it had sold, but then I'm just noticing it came on the market. Is it still available, or whatever happened with that?
I don't know. I'm just the caregiver here, but just hang on 1 second.
Okay, no worries.
She just freed up out of the office. Hang on.
Okay, great.
Hi, this is Jackie.
Hey, Jackie, this is Karl Krentzel. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm better than I deserve. Thank you. I'm not 100% certain if I'm clear on this. As I understood it, I'm a broker here in town, and I remember your property being on the market recently, but I was to understand that it was under contract, that it had actually sold. It was pending or something like that. Is the property still available, or whatever happened with that?
It is available. Yeah, there was an issue with a second loan.
Okay, no worries.
So,
well, is it on the market with your MLS agent now?
Not yet. We're holding off for just a little bit until I can settle things with this second.
Okay.
But,
okay, I got you.
It's gonna go out there at more. So
okay. All right. Did they have any anticipation as to when they felt that would be all cleared up?
No. I'm trying to get somebody to help me out with that.
Okay.
So probably within the next month or so. If you have somebody that's available, that's fine. I'd be happy to show the place.
But at the moment, you've got a second lien issue that's preventing you from selling it.
Right. The price is going to have to go up.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we've been showing it, but at $375. So.
Okay, I understand. Okay, good deal. Well, that's good to know.
All right.
All right, that clears it up for me. Thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Sure.
We'll have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. See, in this particular circumstance, I remember, because these ones I'm calling here are older expireds. So they're from like a year, 13, 14 months ago. And so that's the reason why I knew about that one. It's just, if you call every day, okay, that's another reason why you want to call every day. If you call every day, then you're going to pick up on these things. You're going to hear in individual cases, you're going to be like, oh, yes, I remember this person, that situation. So anyway, so here we are with the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors president, Janet Carpenter, making the statement, quote, "We've been watching home prices appreciate at a slower rate for many months, but this is the first time in 7 years that we've reported an annual home price increase this low. This shows, quote, how the local housing market is stabilizing this year with gradually appreciating prices, more homes on the market, and slower sales." Okay. It's interesting that you have this article with the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors in Las Vegas talking about their appreciation and the rate that they've been experiencing. And then on the same token, you have the Zillow folks putting out a report stating the exact same thing nationwide. Who'd have thunk it? What a coinkydink. All right. Well, while we're pondering this mystery, let's jump over here real quick and let's do some true cold calls to an investment area that I just love. If you've been listening on some of these other cold calling sessions that I've done, you've seen that how a lot of people have been investing in this area because everybody likes it. So you'll see that I've been talking to a lot of people who have multiple properties, and there are a lot of investors, a lot of agents. So let's get right back into that area right there. We'll start dialing again. So got that dialing. While we jump into the third story that I wanted to cover for you today, if you've been listening to this video, if you've been listening to it after I've transposed this into a podcast, or if you're in your car listening as I do sometimes on the way to appointments, guys, I really appreciate you doing that. I really hope that I'd ask that you remember that as I'm sitting here with you going over the news, going over these thoughts and going over these commentary and meeting with the people, that I don't really have a chance to share this on my social media. And I'd ask that you do me a favor. If you feel like you're learning anything, if you feel like any of this business or any of these information pieces are good, then please do me a favor. I'd consider it a personal favor if you just share this with someone on your social media as well. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I'm really glad that in this video we were able to make it to where it was quiet and we didn't have that constant ringing all day. Hey, this is Karl Krentzel. How are you today? Julia? Hello, Julia? Hello? Okay. Boom. All right. So let's get into the third article for the day, right? Third article for today, it kind of comes on the heels of this. I mean, you want to put these things into perspective, right? That's why after 23 years of doing this, when I see some of these things, I want to bring them to your attention so you can bring them to your clients and your customers' attention. Because if you're out there in the market right now trying to buy and sell real estate as a real estate investor, a real estate wholesaler, or a realtor trying to list property, sell property, no matter what your position is in the real estate game, information is key. And what you know can make the difference. So you remember we first talked about prices going down for the first time and slowing down in speed of sale. Then we talked about in a more of a micro level how it was actually happening in Las Vegas. Now let's talk about the nation again as we see negative equity homes in the United States on the rise in 2019. What does this mean? Holy cow, what does this mean? What do we mean? It says seriously underwater properties now represent 9.1% of all U.S. properties. Oh boy. Here we go again. 9.1% of all U.S. properties are seriously underwater. The first quarter of 2019, according to Adams Data Solutions, Q1 2019 U.S. Home Equity and Underwater Report, at the end of the first quarter 2019, more than 5.2 million U.S. properties were seriously underwater. Seriously underwater. Now, what does seriously underwater mean? Does it mean that they're in a floodplain and things are... No, of course not. We as real estate professionals understand that underwater means that if you're trying to sell that property, you got no money. You owe more than it's worth. Right?
Your call has been forwarded
Many
to
of
an
us have
automated
probably
voice.
had cars like that. Well, it says that, when you think about seriously underwater, is essentially where the combined balance of the loans secured by the property was at least 25% higher than the property's estimated value. Up by more than 17,000 properties from a year ago. Okay, so let's put this into some perspective. Let's get some real world numbers here. This has gone up 9%, 5 million properties across the United States, okay? And seriously underwater means that they owe 125% of the value. Essentially what it is. It's 25% more than it's worth. So if it's worth 100, you got the 25. Okay, here we go. So the problem then becomes with the 5.2 seriously underwater properties at the end of Q1, they represented 9.1 of all U.S. mortgages with a mortgage. All right, and that's up from 8.8% in the previous quarter, but down from 9.5 in Q1 2018. So what does this mean? Well, they were really cool to go ahead and put us out a little graphic. So I thought I would go ahead and put this into some perspective for you. Let me go ahead and check this out real quick. Make sure that you can see this okay. Boom. Yes. Okay, good. So if you can imagine, all right, and you can't really see this, but way up at the top up here, Q1 2012, right? There were 12,500,000 properties in the United States that were seriously underwater, that 25% mark over, right? There were that represented 27% of all the properties, right? 27% of all the properties that were available in the United States were seriously underwater in the first quarter of 2012. Now, a couple things to think about, right? When you think about it from this perspective, all right, and thank you for your comment. I appreciate you saying that you appreciate my delivery. I've really tried to make it helpful to everybody because I remember what it's like starting out, and it sure isn't easy. So when you think about it, boy, this thing is still dialing away, if you can imagine. Holy cow. Anyway, back then, right, in the first quarter, 12 million properties seriously underwater. That's 27%. It's gone down practically every year up until the fourth quarter of 2016, where it was 9.6. Then it pumped up a little bit to the first quarter of 2017 of 9.7. And the second quarter is 9.5. So when you think about it now, down to 9.1, it puts it in some perspective. If you're looking at something like this on the headline, if you're a headline reader, right, which most Americans are, if you're a headline reader and you see seriously underwater properties now represent 9.1% of all serious, oh my God, the sky is falling. It's not the case at all. Not the case at all. I mean, think about it. Just as late as 2012, okay, 7 years ago, it was 27% of the market, 3 times as many homes. 3 times as many homes were underwater as there are now. Is it something you need to be aware of? Certainly. It's something you need to be aware of because, if this is a trend that's going to continue, what does this mean for you? If the market prices are remaining flat, or if they're even beginning to fall, there's more negative equity homes coming, available. What does this mean for the investor out there? Well, if you're an investor, what that means to me, it certainly be a good idea. If you've got some underperforming properties that you've already depreciated out, properties that are no longer making the money you want them to make, it's time to sell.
Your call has been forwarded to an
Sell, baby,
automated voice
sell.
messaging
Sell,
system.
baby, sell. That should be your motto. Sell, baby, sell. When you're calling your center of influence and they're like, hey, Karl, what's the market like? Sell, baby, sell. That's what you need to do. Sell, baby, sell. Because take that money, do a 1031 exchange if it's an investment property, put it into something where you're going to make the money because the rents are going up. Right? If all the single family residences are hard to sell and they're taking longer to sell what you've got, take those doors, take that money, put it into a multifamily because they're going to have problems too, and then rent that baby out. Sell, baby, sell should be your war cry. All right, guys, finally. So thank you so much for staying in tune with this episode. I hope this is helpful for you. Here we are at minute number 53. Coming into the final few minutes of today's video. I'm trying to keep these like an hour or so it's a little bit less chunky, a little bit easier to kind of manipulate for people. So we're going to go ahead and share this last story. Basically, it is, as many of you know, President Trump went ahead and visited the National Association of Realtors. Yes, he sure did. He visited the National Association of Realtors just the other day. He was there in their National Association of Realtors mid-year meeting up in Washington, D.C. Obviously made it very simple for him, but there was about 2,000 agents or so. And if you could imagine 2,000 real estate agents in a room talking to President Trump or listening to President Trump, oh boy, that's like a revival meeting. I mean, a whole bunch of people are going to get saved that day. I mean, when you think about it, his roughly hour-long address, it said, Trump blasted environmental and other government regulations that impede building, praised his administration's opportunity zones, which encourage investment in struggling communities, and championed plans to overhaul the nation's housing finance system. and I got to be honest with you. Think what you might about President Trump. I don't want this to be a stumbling block
Been forwarded to an
between
automatic
you
voice
and I.
message system.
You might hate President Trump.
5254.
You might not care for his policies or anything like that. I get it. Many people dislike him. I don't want that to become a stumbling block between you and I. But what I do think is that his policies in the real estate game have made some fundamental differences. And I do think that they have been good differences for our business and for our communities. For example, opportunity zones alone. We talked about that just yesterday. As part of this Tax Cuts and Bills Act that he had, that established a lot of places for people to physically invest their money where it made sense again. All right. And it's not just a racial thing or a money thing or rich poor thing or 1%, 99% thing. This is an American thing. Okay. We have an American president trying to set bills with the Congress and the Senate, trying to set bills in place that will help, help Americans and American workers and investors, invest again into our, hello? Hey, this is Karl. How are you today? Hello.
Good.
Yeah, hi. I'm not sure if I've got the right person. I apologize. I'm actually looking for the Mullers. They own some property over there on Rosewood. Is that your property?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
No, this is the wrong number.
Oh, gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, listen, since I've got you anyway, damn, missed him. Okay, cool. He probably was the guy. Anyway, when you think about it, you got the Congress, Democrats, Republicans, liberals, leftists, rightists, whoever, right? Conservatives, whoever. Senate, Republicans, Democrats, you got the president. Everybody's trying to work together to help these places reinvest into our own communities to where people can rebuild our communities. Okay, I don't know about you, but I am sick to death of spending our money rebuilding places that we just bombed halfway across the world when we could build that infrastructure here in the United States. It's not like we don't have crumbling bridges. It's not like we don't have crumbling schools. It's not like we don't have a lot of problems or vets on the street that could use that care. We spend a lot of our money where it doesn't need to be spent. And it seems to me that if we have a president and a Congress and a Senate who's willing to spend that time, money, and energy on the American people, then I'm all about it. And it seems like President Trump, when he was up there at this event, one of the biggest things he mentioned that needed reform, and I wholeheartedly agree, is the systematic conservatorship of Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. You've got Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae operating in a secondary market, unopposed and unchallenged. I mean, when you think about it, they create most of the rules, and if there's something that goes awry or amiss, well, guess what? They're the ones who ultimately get paid out and paid off by the American taxpayer. And I just think that that's, from my perspective, I think that's just, that's a waste of time. Hello? Hello? Hello?
I'm calling this number.
Well, I'm not sure if I've got the right number. I'll be happy to hang up, but do you own that property on Hawthorne?
What about it?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. If I've offended you, I haven't meant to. I apologize. Well, my name is Karl. I just wanted to see if maybe you could sell it to me, if you were interested in selling it to me. I just was seeing if maybe you'd be interested in selling it to me. That's all. Did you guys want to sell it at all?
There's not a sale sign, so why would I want to sell it?
What?
There's not a for sale sign. Why would I want to sell it?
Yes, ma'am. That's a good question. The reason why I'm asking is because I happen to know.
Stop calling.
Well, if you don't want the money, that's fine. I'll take that as a no. God bless you, baby. All right. So anyway, when you think about it, 10 years have gone by. At least 10 years have gone by since the financial crisis, and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are still under conservatorship. And that is unacceptable. They dominate the market. They don't have any competition, and there needs to be somebody to step in and change this. And President Trump, it seems, is willing to take this task on. He's, tasked the Housing and Urban Development Secretary, Ben Carson, to go ahead and look into this issue, to see if there is a way that they can institute some competition into this environment. And the reason why this is helpful is because when you have competitive competition in this, you don't have a government-backed entity. All right, and this government-backed entity is artificial. When it fails, when it makes bad decisions and it fails, it gets bailed out by the government, which means you and me, the taxpayers, bail it out because they made bad decisions. Well, if you have a secondary market situation where you have somebody competing with them and they're willing to go ahead and offset that risk, and the government doesn't have to take that risk, and the entity itself, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they have to actually analyze and decide whether or not they're going to take that kind of risk. Well, it makes the entire environment less toxic, less predatory, and far more competitive for the consumer, which in the end is what... Hello, this is Karl. How are you today?
If this is a solicitation, I don't appreciate you calling my cell phone.
Well, I appreciate you, but I'm not trying to solicit you at all. And as a matter of fact, I owe you an apology because I might even have the wrong number in advance. Have you got a second? Do you own that property over there on Rosewood? My name is Karl.
No, I don't.
Oh,
no,
see, I owe you an apology altogether. I have the wrong number. Gosh, I'm so sorry. You're probably not even Lindsay.
No.
See,
no.
2 strikes. All right. Well, no worries. Well, listen, I appreciate your time. I hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy this beautiful day. All right. Well, God bless you too. All right. Bam. All right. So anyhow, when you think about it, the whole problem, aside, if you watch The Big Short or anything, aside from, mortgage-backed securities and all that, is the wanton lack of regulation and just blindfoldedness, just willing blindness to obvious problems that Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae exhibited during those time periods. Why they are even considered federally charted or helped or is beyond me. I don't get it. I understand we want to help things and make things, helpful for people so they can afford home. I get it, but I'm a big believer that the private sector should handle that. All right, guys. Well, listen, it's been an hour prospecting. Thank you so much. We have talked to. Let's go ahead and get a quick count of all the people we've talked to and what the amounts look like here, real fast. We have talked to. Let's see here, and that. All right, let's talk. Let's see. No, hopefully that was a lot better. I mean, we ended up not having all that crazy dialer noise in the middle, and we were able to actually have a conversation. So that worked out pretty well. So let's see. We were able to. What have we done today? So today, in this particular session, right? Today is the 20th? Yeah. So today is the 20th. We called 36 expireds, 30 properties in that area that I like to call for investment properties. So it's a total of 66, 66 properties, if you will, that we had tried to contact in this hour-long period of time. We made 122 calls. Wow. 122, just boom, 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 right? We made 14 contacts, right? We set 1 appointment. That was way back in the early part. That's pretty common. You're going to find that most of your appointments are going to happen earlier. As you'll remember earlier in the video, I had said that I was probably getting into this pretty late because it was 9 o'clock already. And the later you get into the day, if it's 8, you're too late. And so what happens is the later you get past 8 o'clock, the harder it is for you to set appointments because everybody else is calling them too. As you can see, it's difficult to reach them the later it gets. But nonetheless, we were still able to set 1 appointment. We left 16 voicemails and we were on the phone for 58 minutes and 12 seconds. So guys, if you're paying attention so far, we've made 107 contacts in the last 2 days and we've set 2 appointments. I hope that's helpful for you guys. If you thought this video was helpful, do me a favor, share it on your social networks, let other people know, subscribe, notify, and as always, hit me up there in the comment box. I'm always taking your comments and I will respond to every single question. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a powerful sales day. Bye-bye.